Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're exposing something that's going to sound like a conspiracy theory until you see the data. The modern world is systematically designed to lower your testosterone and keep you weak, passive, and controllable. This isn't an accident. It's not just progress. It's a deliberate system that profits from your weakness and depends on your passivity. From the food you eat to the way you work to the entertainment you consume, everything is engineered to suppress masculine energy. And when I show you the science and the incentives behind it, you're going to realize you've been living in a carefully constructed cage designed to domesticate you. Let's go. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button because we're building a brotherhood of men who see through the lies and refuse to be domesticated. And because we expose uncomfortable truths about how systems profit from your weakness, this channel is constantly at risk of being shut down. That's why we built the Forge Protocol, our private newsletter, where we go even deeper without censorship. When YouTube deletes this for being too real, we'll still be connected. Link in the description, join the Forge Protocol. Now let's talk about why they want you weak. Here's the data that should terrify you. Testosterone levels in men have dropped 25% in the last 30 years, according to the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism. That's not genetics, that's environmental. Something in modern life is systematically destroying male hormones. Sperm counts have dropped by 50% in the last 40 years, according to studies published in Human Reproduction Update. Male fertility is collapsing, masculine energy is declining, and nobody in power is treating this like the crisis it is. Why? Because weak men are profitable and strong men are dangerous to systems that want control. Let's start with the food system. Modern processed food is loaded with compounds that directly attack testosterone. Soy products contain phytoestrogens that mimic estrogen in your body. Studies show men who consume soy regularly have lower testosterone and higher estrogen. Plastic packaging leaches xenoestrogens that bind to your hormone receptors. BPA and phthalates in plastics are endocrine disruptors that lower T and increase estrogen. Seed oils like canola, soybean, and vegetable oil cause inflammation and oxidative stress that damage Leydig cells in your testicles where testosterone is produced. The food industry knows this, but they don't care because cheap processed food is more profitable than your health. Now let's talk about why they benefit from low T. Pharmaceutical companies make billions selling you solutions to problems they helped create. Low testosterone means prescriptions for TRT, antidepressants for the depression caused by low T, ED medications for the erectile dysfunction caused by low T. It's a perfect profit cycle. The medical industry doesn't want you strong and healthy. They want you sick enough to need medication, but functional enough to keep working and paying. Strong high T men don't consume medical services at the same rate. They're bad for business. Here's the employment angle. The modern workplace is designed to destroy testosterone. You sit in artificial light for 8 hours, which disrupts circadian rhythm and lowers T by 15%, according to studies. You're sedentary all day, which tanks testosterone. Studies show men who sit more than 6 hours daily have significantly lower T than active men. You're in chronic low-level stress from deadlines, emails, and meetings, which elevates cortisol, and high cortisol directly suppresses testosterone production. The 9-to-5 office job is a testosterone killing machine. But corporations don't care because docile low-T employees are easier to manage. They don't challenge authority. They don't take risks. They don't start competing businesses. They just comply. Let's talk about entertainment and media. The content you consume is designed to keep you passive and low-T. Porn is the most obvious. It hijacks your dopamine system so you get sexual satisfaction without the effort of pursuing real women. This removes the evolutionary drive that stimulates testosterone. Studies show porn users have lower T because their brain thinks they're already sexually successful, so there's no need to produce more. Video games give you artificial achievement without real accomplishment. Your brain gets dopamine from fake victories, which satisfies the drive for actual conquest that would require high T. Social media provides endless passive entertainment that keeps you scrolling instead of building. The algorithms are specifically designed to maximize engagement, which means maximum passivity. Here's the biological mechanism. Testosterone is produced in response to challenge, competition, physical exertion, and the pursuit of goals. When modern life removes all of these through convenience, comfort, and digital substitutes, Your body stops producing testosterone because it doesn't need it. You're not hunting, not fighting, not building, not competing for status or mates in physical reality, so your biology adapts by lowering T. The modern world has removed every environmental trigger that tells your body to produce masculine hormones. This is adaptive for survival in a domesticated environment, but catastrophic for masculine vitality. Now let's talk about the political angle. Governments benefit from low T populations because high testosterone men are harder to control. Studies show high T men are more likely to challenge authority, take risks, start businesses, and reject rules they disagree with. Low T men are more agreeable, more compliant, more likely to accept restrictions and defer to experts. When you combine low T with high cortisol from chronic stress, you get a population that's anxious, risk-averse, and desperate for safety, even at the cost of freedom. This is the ideal population for bureaucratic control. Weak men beg for regulations and restrictions that strong men would reject. Here's the educational system's role. Schools are feminized environments that punish masculine behavior. Boys who are physically active are diagnosed with ADHD and medicated. Natural male aggression and competition are labeled toxic. Risk-taking and physical dominance behaviors are suppressed. Studies show boys in modern education systems have lower testosterone and higher cortisol than previous generations because the environment is designed for female behavioral patterns, not male ones. By the time boys become men, they've spent 15 years being taught that masculine traits are problems to be fixed. Their testosterone never fully develops because the environment never demanded it. Let's examine the relationship and sexual marketplace. Modern dating through apps has created a system where 80% of women compete for the top 20% of men. This leaves most men in a state of sexual scarcity and rejection, which tanks testosterone. Studies show men who experience chronic rejection or sexual frustration have lower T and higher cortisol. The sexual revolution promised freedom, but delivered a market where most men are priced out, and sexually unsuccessful men are lower T men who are less threatening to the existing power structure. Meanwhile, society tells these men the problem is their toxic masculinity, not the rigged system. This gaslighting keeps them confused and compliant instead of angry and demanding change. Here's the sleep and circadian rhythm destruction. Modern life keeps you in artificial light until midnight. Blue light from screens suppresses melatonin. You're not getting quality sleep. And sleep deprivation lowers testosterone by 15%. Studies show men who sleep less than 6 hours have testosterone equivalent to someone 10 years older. The 24/7 society that keeps you connected, working, and consuming all hours benefits from your exhaustion. Because tired low T men don't have energy to question systems or build alternatives, they're too depleted to resist. Now let's talk about environmental toxins. Microplastics are in your bloodstream. Forever chemicals are in your water. Pesticides are in your food. Air pollution is in your lungs. Research shows these endocrine disrupting chemicals lower testosterone, damage sperm, and increase estrogen. The chemical industry knows this, but regulatory capture means they write their own rules. Cleaning up the environment would cost profits, so they don't. And the result is a generation of men with female hormone levels higher than their grandfathers at the same age. Here's the exercise and physical culture collapse. Previous generations did manual labor that built muscle and stimulated testosterone. Modern men sit all day. If they exercise at all, it's 30 minutes on a treadmill watching TV. Heavy resistance training increases testosterone by 40%, but most men never lift heavy. They're told bodyweight exercises and jogging are enough. This is intentional misdirection because strong muscular men with high T are confident, they take up space, they're harder to intimidate, they're more attractive to women, they have higher status. Weak men are easier to control and they don't compete effectively for resources or mates. Let me connect this to scripture. The Bible describes this in Romans 1:28. Since they did not think it worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God, he gave them over to a depraved mind so that they do what ought not to be done. When society rejects God's design, including the design of masculinity, the result is corruption and weakness. Proverbs 14:34 says, "Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people." The systematic destruction of masculinity through food, environment, culture, and systems is sin that weakens the entire nation. Here's what you need to understand. Weak men are profitable, controllable, and dependent. Strong high T men are expensive to manage. They question authority. They compete. They build parallel systems. They don't need permission. They're dangerous to established powers. Every incentive in modern society points toward keeping you weak because your weakness serves the system. This isn't paranoia. This is incentive analysis. Follow the money and power, and you'll see who benefits from low T men. So what do you do about it? First, understand the system is rigged against you. Second, take personal responsibility to opt out of the poisoning. Stop eating processed food. Eliminate seed oils and soy. Drink filtered water. Avoid plastics. Eat organic when possible. Start lifting heavy weights 4 to 5 times per week. Get morning sunlight to fix your circadian rhythm. Sleep 7 to 9 hours in complete darkness. Limit screen time, especially at night. Delete social media apps. Stop watching porn immediately. Reduce or eliminate video games. These are non-negotiables if you want your testosterone back. You cannot rely on the system to fix this. You have to fix it yourself. Get your testosterone tested. If you're below 500 nanograms per deciliter, you're functionally low T, even if doctors say it's normal range. Optimize naturally first through lifestyle. If that's not enough, consider medical intervention, but understand that TRT is treating symptoms, not root causes. The goal is to remove the environmental factors suppressing your natural production. Your body is designed to produce high testosterone if you create the right conditions. Here's the final truth. The modern world wants you weak because strong men are ungovernable. When you're strong with high T, you're confident, you take risks, you challenge bad ideas, you protect your family, you build things, you compete, you don't settle for mediocrity. That kind of man is a threat to systems built on compliance and consumption. They want you scrolling, not building, consuming, not creating, asking permission and not taking territory. They want you anxious, depressed, and medicated, not powerful, purposeful, and free. If this video opened your eyes to how the system is designed to weaken you, hit that like button, share this with every man who needs to see it, subscribe because we're building an army of high T men who refuse to be domesticated. Join the Forge protocol for complete guides on optimizing testosterone naturally, brotherhood, and accountability. The modern world wants you weak, but you don't have to comply. Break free, get strong, become ungovernable. Peace out.